Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nicola. I'm a mum of two and I make videos about all things lifestyle, motherhood, organisation, cleaning, hauls and what I eat in a day type videos. So if you like those sorts of things, then I would love it if you would subscribe. I have mentioned before, but I've set myself a challenge to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I've got a little way to go. I think I've got like 222 to go in 3 months. So if you're not subscribed, and I know that a lot of you aren't, in fact about 80% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed, then please do. It really would help me out and yeah, just help me achieve my goal for the end of the year. So today I am going to talk to you about WW or Weightwatchers. I am not a Weightwatchers rep. I am not sponsored by Weightwatchers. This is not a weight loss channel. However, I have talked quite a bit about my Weightwatchers journey, if you like, on my What I Eat in a Day videos, and I do get a lot of views on those videos, and I know a lot of people watch this channel for ideas and hints and tips for staying on plan with Weightwatchers, or WW as it's now called. So I thought that this video might be useful for some of you if that is what you are doing, if you are looking to lose weight or just maintain weight or perhaps even gain weight. And eat healthy, I think, is the key, and that's what WW is about these days. It's not just about weight loss, it's about eating healthily and having a healthy relationship with food. And if you didn't know, I lost just under 2 stone with Weightwatchers last year. I have mainly maintained that. I put on about 5 or 6 pounds over the last few months, which I've actually just signed back up to the app so that I can track my weight a bit better over the next few months, because I want to, stay on track. I don't mind the fact that I've put on a bit, but I don't want to put any more on. So just to try and focus myself a bit better, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So I've written a few notes so that I don't forget anything, because there are lots of things that I learnt while I was doing WW that I feel might be useful to other people, that people may not know. You may know all these things already, but if you don't, then hopefully it might help with your sticking to plan. And I think that's the main thing. It's about sticking to it, because it's very easy to take up a weight loss plan or a healthy eating plan and then getting sidetracked very easily, not being able to stick to it and then giving up. And I'm very like that. I give up on things very easily, and Weight Watch is something that I have managed to stick to because I found ways to make it fit into my life. And my exercise regime that I now do is another thing that I've managed to stick to. I have mentioned before, but I follow Lucy Wyndham-Reed's workouts on YouTube, and because they are 7 to 10 minute workouts, I manage to do them every day because it doesn't take up that much time. I can do them straight away as soon as I get up in the morning, and then it's done, and I don't have to worry about it. I know I've done a bit of exercise. So anyway, we're not talking about that, we're talking about WW. So I'm just going to go through these one by one. I've got 10 things, 10 hints and tips to help you stick to plan if you're doing WW or to eat healthier. So first and foremost, if you're doing WW, use the app. I found it really, really good. It's so easy to use, and it's so easy to just then track what you're eating each day. You can put all your points in. You can scan foods so that when you're out and about, you want to know how many points something is, you can just scan it in the supermarket or scan it at home. It gives you lots of other ideas on there. So 100%, if you're following WW, use the app. Okay, number 2, plan your week. Plan your week of meals in advance. Now this is good for just general organisation anyway, also good for budgeting. But for WW and healthy eating, I think planning your week ahead is key, because it just means if you've got something every day that you know that you've planned that is going to be within your points value for the day, then you won't be tempted to go, oh, I can't be bothered tonight, let's just get pizza, or let's just get fish and chips or Chinese or whatever. And you know that you've got something in that is healthy to eat. It's fine to have treats occasionally, and you might want to plan that into your week. You might say, right, on a Saturday we're going to have a takeaway, and you can plan that in and use your weeklies for it. But as long as it's planned, then you'll know that you will be able to stay on track every day. So that's my second tip, is to plan your week. My third tip is to plan your day. Now, I like to get up in the morning or even the night before and put into the app the meal that I'm having for my main meal that day. So if I'm having spaghetti bolognese, for example, I'll put that in first thing. So that's in, it's whatever points it is, 8 points, 10 points. Your main meal of the day is most likely going to be your highest points value meal. So if you put that in, then you know what you've got left for the rest of the day, and you can plan out your snacks, your lunch, your breakfast, whatever, with the points that you've got left. And I just find it so much easier, because if I just put things in as I eat them throughout the day, then when you get to 6 o'clock or whatever and you start to put in your dinner, and then you think, oh, I haven't got enough points left, I was having pasta and that's quite high in points, and oh no, now what do? I'm gonna have to go into my weeklies. Whereas if you put that in first at the beginning of the day, you then know what you've got left. It's much easier to have a 0 point lunch or to leave out one of your snacks if you haven't got enough. So I would fully recommend planning your day and making sure you put in your evening meal or the highest points value meal that you're having that day in first, and then plan everything else around that. Okay, point number 4, and this I've mentioned in my what I eat in a day videos, and if you haven't seen those, I'll link them down below. But I always have a late breakfast. I have my breakfast as late in the day as I can. I have something to eat first thing. It's always good to kick off your metabolism by having something to eat when you get up. And I have a banana and a cup of tea every day. I'm very lucky because I work from home, so I'm able to take the children to school and then come back, and at sort of 8:30 I can have my proper breakfast then. If you don't have that luxury and you work away or you work at an office somewhere or whatever, then just try and have your breakfast as late as you can, and you might be able to have a banana and a cup of tea at home or whatever, or a piece of fruit, and then take something with you to have at your desk when you get to work if you're able to. But I find that if I have a breakfast later, then it carries me on longer, and the longest I can push each of my meals throughout the day, my snacks, my meals, then the easier I find it to stick to plan. If I have my breakfast at 6:30 in the morning, a full breakfast, whatever it might be, cereal, toast, poached eggs, whatever, if I have it at 6:30, I am always, I guarantee, hungry again by 10. And then I'm having a snack at 10, and then I'm wanting my lunch at 12, and then my other snack at 2:30, and by 5 o'clock I'm ready for dinner, and we don't generally eat till 7. So I then have to snack again, and that's when things tend to go wrong. So the later I can push breakfast, then everything else pushes on, and it's much easier to stick to plan. That works for me anyway. Okay, let's check my list. Right, number 5, find some low point snacks and treats that you like. There are loads of ideas on the app. And if you obviously go to your supermarket and take your app with you and scan the barcodes of some of your favourite snacks, there'll be some that you thought might be high in points but are actually quite low. Milky Way crispy rolls are a great one, 3 points. The Skinny Whip bars are great. The Aldi Benefit bars are really good. There are loads of really good, healthy, low point, low sugar snacks that you can eat that are great for just your snacks throughout the day. I am a snacky person. I like to snack. I'd rather have an extra snack during the day and less for lunch. It's just the way I am. You know, the pea snacks, little pea crisps you can get from Aldi. They do the salt and vinegar ones, and I think barbecue. They're, I want to say 3 points. They might even be 2. I'll have to check. But anyway, they're low points and they're great instead of a packet of crisps, which could be as much as 10 points. So just find low point snacks that you like, have them. I have a little tin of them in my kitchen, so I know that if I'm hungry, then I'm going to go and have one. It's really good also if you are out and about. So if you're going to meet a friend for coffee, for example, at Starbucks, now you can have a skinny latte for 4 points, a medium one or a smaller one for 3, I think. And that's great, but I'm always tempted by the cakes. It's just a treat and it's nice and I like, and sometimes I may well treat myself. I'll have a granola bar or a cinnamon swirl and just blow my weeklies on one of those. However, it's far better to take something with you. A friend of mine is doing Slimming World and she always takes some fruit or something with her that she can snack on while we're having our coffee, so that she's not tempted to have something from the cake bar. And I've now started to do that as well. So Andrew and I went to Starbucks on Saturday for a coffee together, and I took a skinny whip bar with me. And it was perfect because I walked in and I thought, oh, I really fancy some raisin toast. Oh, I'd love that. The week before I'd had some. And I thought, no, I have my coffee and I've got a skinny whip bar, I can just eat that. And I did. So I would thoroughly recommend, finding yourself some low point treats that you can have as an alternative to the high point ones. Number 6, lunches. Lunches, I find, and I just mentioned, I'd rather have more snacks and less lunch. I try and have as low a point lunch as I can, and it's very easy, I find, to have a 0 point lunch, tuna sweet corn salad in a bowl with a tiny little bit of salad cream. It fills me up and it's lovely. I have a jelly afterwards, which is 0, and that's a good lunch. And I find that that's great because then I can have an extra snack, or I can have a slightly bigger breakfast, or I can have a few extra points for dinner, or I can have an ice cream after dinner, the Halo Top, for example, which is 3 points for a small bowl. I'd rather do that and have those extra treats and have a 0 point lunch. A soup is another good one. Vegetable soup you can make for 0 points. And they are things that you can take to work with you as well. So you can pack yourself up a nice 0 point lunch that's healthy and will fill you up. And then you won't be tempted to go out and buy a sandwich or a cake or something else that perhaps would be high in points. So lunches, I try and make them as low as I possibly can every day. Point number 7 is to find alternatives for the things that you normally eat. And this has been a really big one for me. So for example, the recipes, the Weightwatchers recipes are brilliant, and they are so tasty and actually better than buying jars. So for example, for a spaghetti bolognese, for a chili, for a shepherd's pie, if you follow the WW recipe, it's really easy. It doesn't take a huge amount of extra effort. I always used to buy like a Dolmio sauce or an Uncle Ben's sauce when I made a chili or a spaghetti bolognese, because it was just easy. You just shove the sauce in, the mince, the onions, a few mushrooms and peppers, and that was it. It was done. But they are so high in sugar and really high in points. You can get ones that are lower, but it's so much better to make the sauce from scratch yourself with a couple of tins of tomatoes, and it's then so much better and so much lower in points, and it tastes better too. So yeah, find alternatives, other things like a rice. Now, I was a bit skeptical about cauliflower rice, and I will tell you it's not my favourite. However, if I'm having a meal and I need rice with it, and it's got the food has got quite a lot of sauce with it, then I will have a cauliflower rice, because the texture is just like rice. When you have it with a sauce, it tastes just like rice. The smell can be off-putting, I will say that, but once you get over that, it doesn't taste bad actually, and it's pretty good for you. And it's 0 points as opposed to, I mean, half a pack of Uncle Ben's microwave rice is 6 points. So, and you can have as much cauliflower rice as you can eat for 0. So it's got to be worth it. Other things are like pizza. So, I mean, the pizza that I like, half a pizza is 13 points. Now, I used to eat a whole one, so that's a lot. That's more than my daily points blown just in one pizza. So things like the Weightwatchers wraps, or even an ordinary wrap with a passata on, or tomato puree and a few toppings, makes a nice pizza. I actually prefer the flatbreads. In Tesco you can get a multi-seeded flatbread, which is 4 points, and I like those because they're slightly puffier than a wrap. I find a wrap isn't filling enough, but the flatbreads are. Put some puree or passata on it, bit of sprinkling of cheese, some peppers, red onion, and it's lovely. Really, really nice, tasty, and 4 points as opposed to 13. So yeah, much, much better. So find alternatives for the things that you like to eat. There are things that you can have that are lower in points, that are healthier and are just as satisfying and sometimes nicer. Number 8, I recommend joining a Facebook group that is for WW. There is a big group, can't remember what it's called, WW Flex UK or something. Anyway, search Weightwatchers on Facebook and you will find a number of groups, and they are great. They're full of supportive people, full of ideas, hints, tips. You'll learn about mug cakes and fluff and all sorts of stuff that you can eat. Fluff, by the way, I think is Greek yogurt mixed with jelly, like a jelly mix. and then you put it in the fridge and it makes like a mousse sort of thing. I've never had it, but apparently it's amazing. But mug cakes are great if you're wanting a slightly different, well, either I quite often have them for breakfast, but you could have them as a treat in the evening, and you can get a 0 or 1 point cake, and you can have it with Greek yogurt and fruit. And anyway, all of those things are on the Facebook groups, and loads of other ideas, and the amount of things that I've come across and thought, oh, I didn't think about that, or I could have had that. So yeah, join a Facebook group. Also, Pinterest is brilliant for recipes, really, really good. I will link my Pinterest board below, which is a Weightwatchers one, but there are so many really good recipes. There's more for Slimming World than Weightwatchers, I will say. However, if you go in, it does quite often give you the WW Smart Points as well as the sins that are in each recipe. But there are Weightwatchers ones, and it's worth going on and having a look because there's loads. And plus also you've got the website, WW website, and the app, which also has lots of recipes on. So I would recommend those too. So yeah, there's three hints there in one. Join a Facebook group, go on Pinterest, and look on the app and the website for recipes. Number 9 is to use your weekly points. They're there to be used. I know I've felt quite often it's like, oh no, I've gone over my dailies, I've gone into my weeklies. The weeklies are there for a reason. They're not there to be left, they're there to be used. And sometimes you'll find that if you don't use your weeklies, you won't lose weight as much as you do if you do use them, because you're not eating enough. So I recommend using them. I use mine for, and I've mentioned this in my what I eat in a day videos as well, I use mine for my milk in tea, my spread on toast or bagels or whatever, and then maybe a few extra here and there for a glass of wine or whatever. But that's what I use my weeklies for. I don't track my tea, my milk in my tea and my spread every day, because I find that psychologically it just doesn't work for me. I'm going over my dailies if I use that. I can't possibly stick within my daily points by counting those, and I don't like going over every day, so I just don't count them, and then I don't really use many of my weeklies, and I know that I'm within my range. But yes, use the weeklies, don't be afraid to use them. That's what they're there for. And last but not least, I would recommend, if you are new to WW or you are new to weight loss and you're looking for, you know, a weight loss program, and you're thinking of joining WW, join and go to the meetings. Don't just join online, especially if you've got, you know, quite a lot of weight to lose. It is so motivating to go along to the meetings every week. You're far more likely to stick to your plan if you go every week. They do not weigh you in front of people. You're not, other people in the group aren't told how much weight you've lost unless you want them to be, or unless you've reached a really good milestone or goal. It's not embarrassing, they don't make you feel bad, it's just very private. They weigh you, they write it down for you, and they give you your card, and then you go. And if you want to talk to them about, you know, how you can improve or how you can do better, then they will help you. And I've quite often just gone and got weighed and then left. You can stay to the meeting afterwards. They again give you loads of hints and tips, and everyone shares ideas. And yeah, they're generally really lovely groups to go to, quite social. So I would thoroughly recommend going. If you just join on the app, then you can do it yourself, but it is much, much harder to stay on track and to stay motivated. Having someone weigh you every week is the best motivation there is for staying on track and losing weight, because you know, you're answerable to them. Even if they're lovely and they're not going to have a go at you if you don't lose weight, you're still answerable to them and to yourself. So I would thoroughly recommend going to meetings. So that is it. That is my 10 tips. I'm just going to run through them again, just one at a time. So my number 1 was to use the app. Number 2 was to plan your week. Number 3 was to plan your day. So making sure that you put your biggest meal in first. Number 4 was to have a late breakfast. Number 5 was to find low point treats and snacks that you can have as a treat throughout the day. Number 6 was to find low point lunches so that you can fill up on your snacks. Number 7 was to find alternatives to the things you love, like cauliflower rice and wraps for pizzas and things like that, and also to use the Weightwatchers recipes wherever you can. Number 8 was to join a Facebook group, really, really, really good and helpful and very motivational, and lots of supportive people. Number 8, sorry. Number 9 was to use your weekly points, and number 10 was to go to meetings, especially if you're new to WW. As I said, I'm not a Weightwatchers rep, I am not sponsored by Weightwatchers, I just love it, and it's been really, really good for me, and I just recommend it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful and helpful. If you've got any other tips, leave them in the comments below, because I'd love to get a bit of conversation going and, you know, have people share ideas and share the things that they've found really, really useful, whether it be Weight Watchers Slimming World or just doing some healthy eating plan yourself. So yeah, share in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not already. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.